Right, hopefully this works well. Again, trying to do another live stream, bit of testing, just to kind of see how this all goes. Now, as you can see in front of you, I do have my hero deck. Now, this is the deck that I'm looking at playing towards the new format. There are a few issues with heroes at current. They're great. I really enjoy heroes. Plays they can do are really cool. The one thing that they are massively missing, which some of the sport just hasn't provided them. Hi, gamers game. So the one thing that they haven't got in their own repertoire, while I quickly mute my TV, is they don't have any built-in protection. So not only do they get locked into heroes, as a general rule of thumb when you're playing them, but they don't have any protection. So like a board wipe, not that many people play like Regekis and Dark Holes right now, but board wipes absolutely kill them. And Nibiru, they just run straight into Nibiru. There's no way for them to avoid Nibiru. And the worst thing about it is MST does negate in this state, yeah. No, it doesn't. So the biggest issue they have is that to get even a half decent going first board, they need to do over 5 summons. The only good thing that they can do is because they have a lot of ability to extend, is they can actually normal summon, actually do a lot of it without normal summoning. But like I said, being locked into heroes is gonna suck. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do a couple of test stands for you guys live so you can see how the deck operates. And then we can work it back from there. My internet is a potato, so I do apologise if the quality isn't that good. I will hopefully do a full proper video after this as well. I thought I'd do it live just to kind of, work through the test with you guys. If you guys have any questions in regards to some of it as well, you can let me know. And just kind of general, I like doing live streams every now and then so that we can have like a chat over any kind of questions that you might have. Super Bond, what do you mean by Super Bond? Well, this is the weird thing, I play one of the a Dusted Gold and one of the Bane, but here in the UK they weren't short print. You could actually pick up an Dusted Gold for 25 quid, and you could also pick up a Bane for 25 quid. So what I've actually seen a lot of is a lot of UK sellers are in fact, because we didn't get them as a short print, a lot of them are pulling them and selling them over to you guys over in America. And I personally think that's ridiculous with the amount. Like a no card should be $100 card, especially in a set that costs 45 quid a box. Now, if in the UK, that's a lot different to say, because if you bought one of those boxes in the UK, you had a fairly decent chance of getting both of them. Some didn't. Yeah, I wish Monarchs got Pantheism back as well. It would have been fair. Phantasme is different though. So Phantasme came in a core set, which had secret, only had, it was one of 8 secrets. Whereas Bane and a Dusted Gold are 2 of, I think, like 8 ultras, but you get 5 ultras a box. So on average, if you buy 2 boxes of this stuff, or of the hero stuff, you should have got it. Like, at least got one of each. And the fact that the main hero deck only plays one of each of them as well, it's ridiculous. The circulation of that card is so low. Anyway, I've mumbled on. Oh, hello. I've talked on long enough without actually doing a test hand. So let's actually get a test hand going, shall we? Okay, so decent shuffle, decent cut, and hand of 5 being 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This is, by the way, with triple Mali and triple Stratos, because that's the way the deck is going to be played. Without the evil heroes, yeah, I mean the evil hero or the evil hero section of it is just for OTK potential. That's the only reason. Bane is actually really good. It's a shame that it's, like you said, it's a shame that it's the price it is. I completely agree. I think it's ridiculous. No card from a set like this at £1.75 a pack, should it be that high? Anyway, okay, so pretty decent hand, as you can see with the 5 in front of us. What you would normally do on this, or the only normal summon you've really got to do, is Stratos. Hey, welcome back to free. Stratos would then use his effect. Now, with a hand like this, there's only one that you go for, and that is, of course, Faris. Faris effect, you've actually got the best discard fodder possible for this, and we're going to be sending Malicious to the graveyard. We're going to use Faris's effect, which of course will summon increase, well not summon, but play increase into the spell and track card zone. I'm going to put Vi on there as well. There we go. We'll also talk through, like, if you guys have any questions, like if you're fearful of playing against heroes and you're like, oh, when should I interrupt them, when should I stop them, by all means put that in the comments below and I'll speak you through it. So we're then going to use increases effect, get rid of Faris, summon increase, and then summon Vion from deck. Vion's effect is going to go off. Jaden Yuki cannot know my location. It is a hidden. I'm in area 51, waiting for the Magi Girl and the Eternal God to be released on TCG cards. So Vion's going to send our Shadow Mist because you've already got Malicious. Now, we haven't got the ability to bring Mist back this turn, so we're going to use its effect to search out a card. And we're going to say you can search out any hero you want. So we'll search out the Adusted Gold just to set us up for next turn anyway. Not that you need to. That's just an additional extender. What I should have done is this should be in the far left because I'm now going to link up. No, before I link up, I always need to do this. Banish the Faris, search out the Poly. 9 out of 10, I'll open up the bloody Poly because it is a one-off. But anyway. Then going to use your Vion and your increase. I don't know why I do that. I'm actually not going to do that this time. I'm going to keep the Vion. Usually I don't use Stratos. I leave Stratos on the board. No idea why, but I do. And you go straight into... Oh, not that one. Where are you? There you go. Cross Crusader. It's the only one you really need to go into. Move that out of the way. Cross Crusader will then bring back the Mali. And then you can then use Cross Crusader's effect to get rid of the Mali. And because we're going first, you're going to be wanting to search out your... Where are you? Prisma. And now I've just put Prisma back into the deck. And it's really, really good. As long as you can get the monsters on board, it's really, really good. That's all right, Nick. Have a good evening, man. Catch up with you at some point. We've then got Mali. So this is where Mali becomes beautiful because you can use and abuse him now twice rather than once. We're going to use a Dusted Gold just to get him into the graveyard and search out ourselves our Dark Fusion. Dark Calling. There we go. Now, Poly is really an extender. You don't actually need that right now. We're then going to banish the Mali, summon the Mali from deck. You can probably see where this is going from now. So we bring out the Mali. Now is the time to, if you want to, you can Marsh Change into the Dark Claw. And that just means Dark Claw is not going to be in the main monster zone. So you Marsh Change your Mali. I'm going to bring the Mali here in a minute anyway. But we're going to be Marsh Changing the Mali into a Dark Law there. We're then going to banish the final Mali, which will be in the grave, which will summon this one, go in there. And then we've got 3 monsters that we can go boom, boom, boom. Go straight into our Plasma. There we go. Put those on either side. Then you can set the call by the grave and partial turn. Now, it's not the best or most busted opening. The best opening you can actually end on. And you have to be very, very lucky and open up the actual best cards in the world, is you end up with a Destiny Hero Dystopia, which can pop a card. You have your Marsh Change Dark Claw that you do during your opponent's turn, so you catch them a little bit off. And then you've got your Plasma as well. So you're negating stuff, you're banishing stuff, and you're popping stuff as well. So that's pretty much your best first turn board you can get. But getting 2 out of the 3 is not bad at all, especially when our hand was not the best, but because we opened up one of the Malis, but it was still very, very good. Anyway, now continuing on. Moving on to a second test there now. Go in first. So we'll do a couple going first, 2 or 3 going first, and the rest going second. And then if at any point, if at any point I miss a combo or I miss a step, or if you see something that could be done a little bit differently, then let me know. I'm trying to learn this deck to its max potential as well. So let's see where this one keeps going. So shuffle that up. Again, another decent shuffle, and we'll do a decent cut. And our next hand of 5 will be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Wow, okay. Something a lot different. I think the best thing we can do with this hand is probably summon the Vion to send the Mali to get 2 on board. We've got the Mask Change, which is really good. None of these being normal summon actually helps us right now, so this is pretty much the only normal summon ability we've got. This will send our second Mali, which is a shame because we have to banish this Mali to summon out the Mali. This is, this is the one good reason of having Mali back to 3. The other issue is we do lose a poly, so if we wanted to, we could, depending on what you want to end with. I'm trying to think where this is going to go. This would then give us another hero that we can't normal summon. We would have, so at this moment in time, the way it stands is we would have a Dark Law. If we were to banish this for a poly, we could go into a Dystopia, I think. No, because we'd still need that. Dog's going crazy in the background. I don't think this is actually going to go anywhere, to be fair. I mean, we can link these guys up, but this Mali's not going to be doing anything. We could set the Mask Change, but again, that's not really going to get us anywhere. What you could do is you could send the Adusted Gold, search out your Dark Calling, banish the Adusted Gold for the poly, play the poly to go into using the Mali. Would you use 2 Malis? I'll tell you what, I'm going to do it the Adusted Gold way. Now, this kind of sucks because it means we have lost our only evil hero target, so this becomes dead, but this just gives us another thing that we can do. So you'd banish the Adusted Gold, go into... Where's the polygon? There you go. Poly, search out the poly. I'm trying to think if we do this right. So if we link these two together, go into Cross Crusader, then use Cross Crusader's effect to bring back the Mali. Now we have the ability to play the poly. Putting those both into the grave. Bring out our Dystopia. So the only issue is Dystopia doesn't have different power level. What else could we do? I suppose the other option, if we did that, is you would use the Shadow Mist. Shadow Mist would search you out you'd go into Dangerous instead. Keep the Mali on board. Let's do it that way. So let's keep the Mali on board. Let's keep this in hand. We'd use the poly. Lose our hands. We'd actually have Shadow Mist would go to grave. Use the poly. Make Dangerous. Still have these in hand. Then Shadow Mist's effect. Search out. You could search out Plasma if you want to, but then you're going to be losing your entire board for a Plasma. If you think that's enough to stop your opponent, by all means. Otherwise, you could search out your Honest Neos. Or you could even search out your Stratos for your next turn play. If you think sitting on a Dark Lord would be good enough, you would do this, and then you would turn your Mali into your Dark Law. And then you'd sit on a Dark Claw with your Link 2, or if you want to give it a bit more of a boost, you could use these two together. You could use this effect to start sending Destinies as well. I mean, that's another option, is you could use him to send your Destiny hero. What's the one? The one that lets you draw 2 cards if it's the only card. Where are you? Celestial. So you could send Celestial, but at this moment in time, our board will then turn into, we'll try and play through it if you want. Going during our opponent's turn, Mask Change, turn this into Dark Claw, cause your opponent a few issues with that one there. Alternatively, what you could do actually is you could use both of these and go into the extra hero, so that when you super poly into this, you get to set the super poly or the polymerization back. So I suppose by setting the polymerization back, if you survive this turn, you've got a Stratos for a search, and then you've got the poly, which could possibly take you into Trinity, and then get you game from that. So maybe we were trying to play through one of the worst bloody hands in the world, like Mali Vion. Mali Vion Shadow Mist. The only good thing about it was the mask change in hand. That was beautiful. Anyway, let's keep on going. So shuffle this up. We'll do probably 2 more going first, and then I'll go do 4 going second. So obviously, going second is where the evil heroes start to rear their crazy expensive heads again. And there's still a couple of things that I want to work out with this deck. Like I'm tempted to put Solid Soldier up to 2. I'm also tempted to put Dark Calling up to 2, just because the evil hero kind of section of the deck is very, very thin. Anyway, so we've cut, and our next hand of 5 will be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Ooh, okay. That's fine. I think this is busted hand. So activate Rhoda and E-Telly. Not E-Telly, sorry. E-Cool. So used to thingy. So we go Stratos. The way I'm going to play this is you are going to run into hand traps, so be very, very careful. But you normal summon your Solid Soldier. Solid Soldier will special summon Stratos. Stratos will then use his effect to get the busted Faris. Have we got the best board? I think this is the best board you can get. So I'm going to see if I can play this out properly. Faris, send Celestial. Play Increase, send Faris. Get yourself... Oh, I've got to do it without... I don't think there's another way of sending to Grave. Oh, I've got the Fusion Destiny. So yeah, okay. Then we're going to use Varn's effect to send Shadow Mist. Don't use Shadow Mist's effect. We're then going to use Varn's effect to banish Faris to search out the poly. We're then going to link these two together. Go into Cross Crusader. Cross Crusader then brings back Celestial. You then sack off Celestial to search out any hero. We're going to search out Plasma. The hero is difficult, Chad. The heroes are really, really good, but they have to open up really, really well. They run into Nibiru like no tomorrow, so that's always going to be a downside to it straight away. We're going to activate the poly, turn these two into Adoration. That's the issue, is they've got no, I was saying at the start of the video, they've got no built-in protection. Effect of Solid Soldier, revive Shadow Mist, effect, because we didn't use it to search out, Mars Change, Glass Cannon. Yeah, it's actually a really good, Doggy's going mad. That's actually a really good analogy for them, to be honest. They are very, very powerful, but yes, they are technically a glass cannon. They do really, really struggle. Someone's probably going to knock at my door. 2 seconds. There you go. That explains why. That's what happens. Guard dog. That's why he's noisy as hell when your brother comes home. I'm going to need to soundproof this room. Where was I? Right, yeah, cool. So, yeah, they are a glass cannon. They're very, very powerful, very, very strong, but going second wants me to play Paleos. I'm not really... I played Paleos once or twice before. I wasn't the best with them, so I've kind of learnt my lesson to go, nah, I don't need it. Anyway, we're going to send 2 Destiny heroes. So we're going to send our Malicious and we're going to send our Dynatag. And this is why Mali back at 3 is busted. You got your Dystopia. If you want to, you link this up. Dystopia will always have different attack, but I'm going to use the Dynatag to give him different attack, which means he's going to be able to pop something during our turn. We're then going to use Mali. Oh, welcome back, Mali to 3. Actually, can I get it? I think I might even be able to get even more than this, which is stupid. This is like the best board. From Elemental Hero days, like the vanillas, no. Like, they got so much. Like, you watch GX Season 1, and it was like, all right, cool. I like these. I like some of these fusions. And then GX Season 2 went, you know what? We're going to give you Destiny Heroes. It was like, what? Plasma and Dogma? This is insane. And then we're going to banish Mali because Oh, I know we lose our Shadow Mist. Maybe I don't need to do that then. Do I? No, we have to lose something. Oh, mate, Dark Warrior is going to wreck this one. It's the only issue is Dark Warrior is going to make this one worse than it is. Especially someone out the Mali. Now, maybe I've overextended because I'm going to lose more than I need to for the plasma. So maybe not going into this would have been the better option because then we would have had Mali and the Link 2. And then you would use these 3 to go into the plasma. Yeah, it will do. And the issue is, it won't be... Actually, I can keep the Link 2. If I want to keep the Link 2 or the Fusion. You can keep either the Link or the Fusion, basically, to make plasma, because then you'd get rid of one of these. You can bring the Mali back, set your Mask Change, pass your turn, and you've got a Walking Skill Drain, you've got a Quick Play Pop, and then you Mask Change this into... If you save the Shadow Mist and get rid of the Link 2, you go into Mask Change, you'll get a search off your Shadow Mist. And then that lets you extend your hand. And then you've got the Dark Call in as well, because you also have the Dusted Gold in Graveyard. I believe we do anyway. Let me just check. I can't remember what we sent. No, we don't have the Dusted Gold. So we'd have to find a way of Foolish burying the Dusted Gold. Yeah, Dark Warrior is going to absolutely destroy this deck. And that is the full shame of it, I'm afraid. We got them made by Venom Battle Gear. It's a place here in the UK. Vigilante Hero. Like, I'm not gonna lie, Vigilante Hero would be pretty cool. Like, it's basically what the like Wingman and that are. They're like vanillas, and then everyday job, and then they become vigilantes at night when they go into fusions and gain effects and stuff. Anyway, let's start going second. Let's show you what the 6 card can do. Yeah, so heroes are very, very fragile. They have to make 5 summons in order to put up a decent board, which is going to run straight into Nibiru nowadays. And even going second, they have to run. Deck Profile's already up on the channel. I did it the day the ban list came out, or the day after the ban list came down. So just look back 2 days. You'll be able to find it. I think the only difference between that and this... I'll show you the deck profile at the end anyway. Yeah, they do. They definitely need some sort of protection. They need to have like a card that goes to the graveyard that can be banished to protect. If your hero monsters will be destroyed by battle or card effect, banish this card instead, kind of thing. They need something like that. I was talking to someone today, and we were like, back in the old days when in Master Rule 3, when you did the whole Bahamut Shark, Toad, people were playing Lance to protect from board wipes, because back then Regekis and Dark Holes are floating around. But right now, they don't actually have anything themselves. Heroes are so good. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, now theoretically, I probably would have dropped the Nibiru on my opponent. But let's say my opponent did not make 5 summons. Let's say they're playing Thunder Dragons. That's where Super Poly comes in to break that board. So I've got 2 board breakers right there, and then we've got the emergency call. So we're going to activate the emergency call. If they try to ash us, we're going to call by the Gravem. Otherwise, I can use this as an offensive card to banish one of their cards. Stratos is of no massive necessity for me. I'm trying to think of the most offensive board I can make from searching an elemental hero. And I'm thinking if I search out the Solid Soldier, I could probably get a little bit more offensive. If I did Stratos, even that. All right, yeah, I need another hero. Let's go Stratos. There we go. Because then we'll normal summon Stratos. He'll search us out our basically OTK card. So where are you? Come to me, $100 card. A Dusted Gold goes to the graveyard. Search out your Dark Calling. There we go. Got that in hand. Then use Faris for send an increase. This is going to be like not as degenerate as Orcus combo, but just as bad and repetitive as Orcus combo. Increase effect. But then you should always pay attention because this is where you can make the most misplays. Vion's effect. Send my 1 of 3 Mali. Yay! Until Dark Arrow ruin it. No! Banish this to search out your poly. I'm going to Trinity. That'll win us the game anyway. Poly for Trinity. Not right now. Link these guys together because we want Trinity and Bane because we want to make sure our opponent does die. Bring back Mali. Get rid of Mali. Oh, don't say that, Katie. I've seen it online. And the worst thing is, I said to someone before this happened, I was like, "Oh my god, you can abuse the living crap out of Super Rejuvenation in an OG Blue Eyes deck." Like, Carl's working on a Blue Eyes Danger deck. I posed the question of Blue Eyes Max or Blue Eyes with Cyber Dragon Infinity play, because then you use Galaxy Soldier to send some of your dragons. The only issue with that is you then need to have the ability to get more cards going. So you need to have the ability to you want to play hand traps. Like, you want the super rejuvenation to get you somewhere. You want them to have like disruptions or plays or something like that. And it just doesn't do that, unfortunately. And that's where the issue is. Where are we? So we can go poly for the 2, or you can go poly for the 3. Entirely up to you. Right now, we're going to go Dark Calling. Oh, hello. If I've got a target, I haven't got a target that's high enough. I need that Mali Engrave first. So you can link these up if you want to. This will give us more attack boosts because I'm just going greedy now. Banish the Mali. Bring out a Mali. Get rid of these 2 with the poly. Go into Adoration. Adoration can then use this effect to reduce one of your opponent's monsters' attack. Then we're going to use the Dark Calling to banish our Dusted Gold and our Mali. Come forth, stupid expensive in America. Either Hero, Malicious Bane. Bane's effect, because he is on currently 400 boost. He is on 3,400. Why not? Let's drop the Neos on him as well. Make him a 5,900 attack. Use the effect of this to destroy everything below 5,900. Pretty much going to clear your opponent's board. Then we're going to go attack. Should be game technically. Attack should be game. Attack should be game. If it's not game, super poly, all 3, and go into Trinity. You'd only go into Trinity if you haven't cleared their board and they've had a monster that's somehow been able to survive a Bane attack, an Adoration attack, and a Cross Decimator attack as well. So, yes, that was a very, very long turn too, but you can kind of see where the combos go and how powerful it is and where it can go. I can see that the focus on the camera is kind of... Let's try that. That doesn't work. Maybe that. I don't know. I'm just playing around on my phone. Like, I'm trying to live stream, and my phone is the most capable thing of live streaming. I need to upgrade my internet. It's so potato. Hopefully you can see clear enough as it goes. Which giveaway are you talking about? The Dual Devastator? If so, then yeah, of course you can. That is not going to end for another few days. I'm probably going to keep that open for a week like I do most of them, and go from there. I will be going to YCS London, but I work at the con, like the Comic-Con next to it, so I'll only be able to pre-reg, do a couple of the first rounds, and then I'm going to unfortunately have to drop because work is work. Unfortunately. But I want to enter a YCS. Like, every time there's YCS London, it is Comic-Con London time. So I'm like, I can't do either. Stop it. But yeah. I'm definitely going to go see, I think they had Eric and Dan Green there the first year. It doesn't work that way, Chief. Otherwise I would. It's not like a grueling task. Like, I love what I do. I live stream some of the interviews. With the Comic Con guests, so I can't complain. I love doing that. It's amazing. It just means that I have to sit out the Yu-Gi-Oh. It's all right because literally the week after that, I'm going to OCG Land, and I'm going to give you guys like loads and loads of videos from OCG Land, and you can see how the other half lives. So we're going to do. I'm pretty sure the time I'm out there, a new set drops as well, and I'm hoping, fingers crossed, I haven't checked it yet, but I'm hoping the new Legendary Duelist drops when it's out there, and I'll be like, yeah, boy, pick up all them Japanese Dark Magician cards because I can't wait for those. I also want to get like an Ultimate Dark Magician, like original art in Japanese, but I think they're like 200 odd quid. It's crazy. I want to get a Ghost Alternative. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We've got the one card OTK. That's all that matters. And we didn't open a Dark Calling, so a Dusty Gold's live. This hand's insane. This hand is busted as hell because we've even got Caught by the Grave. So if I haven't Nibiru'd my opponent, which, again, I hope I have, that's the whole point of playing this card and going for, in your main deck. I could do so much with this. So we're going to go Faris because I'm going to go greedy again. Faris is then going to bring Increase. Increase is going to get rid of Faris and go into Vion. Vion is going to send Shadow Mist. Shadow Mist is going to search out my boy Stratoth. Hail Stratoth. I'm going to normal summon Strauss. I don't think there's anything else I need to normal summon, really. Strauss is going to search me out. Big boy. By big boy, I mean this one. Doesn't need to, but he can do. We'll send a Dusted Gold as well, because why not? And hope I don't get caught by the grave. Oh no, my whole combo's gone to death. Dark Calling. Yeah. Oh, there you go. Take the camera out. We're going to link these guys together because I love keeping Strats on the board. Go into this. I'm going to bring back the Mali. We're going to sack off the Mali. I don't think I've got enough to go into the Plasma. Oh, I'll tell you what I missed as well. That's what happens when you overlook it. But we'd be banishing the Faris. Search me out that Poly. There we go. Get rid of the Mali. Yeah, sorry, it's a potato rogue. It's really... One day in my deep dreams, I will have better internet. Yeah, actually, that's better having Plasma. You could use any of the actually, let's add this one. Dynatag. I'm gonna go a different route. Oh, I didn't need to. Doesn't really matter what I do because I've got Fusion of Destiny. So my hand is busted right now. Activate. Do I want to activate Poly? I don't want to activate Poly. Let's go and activate Mali first. Can link up if I want to. Where are you, Mali? Mali, Cross Crusader, link up. Probably do Fusion of Destiny first, just so I've got more. No, link up and then Fusion of Destiny. Fusion of Destiny can send. We're going to keep the Plasma. We're going to send the Dynatag, and we're going to send this, our Celestial. That will then give us this, which will give us a quick play pop. Then got Mali to banish if you want to summon out another one, but it really isn't going to get us far. Far. Banish, bring out Mali. There we go, there's all Mali there. Poly. I don't know why, but we're overextending. Adoration is probably better than Trinity in this example because you've already got the OTK. But Trinity gives you a OTK. And then Dark Calling will give you the OTK. So you'd banish that, banish Mali or your Plasma if you want to. And that one. And you'd bring out your Bane. And currently these three, apart from Trinity being on 5k, they also get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 800 boost. I could make him only have 700 boost by banishing Dynatag and giving Dystopia an extra K. So Dystopia is sitting on an extra 1900. This is sitting on an extra 1900. Decimator sitting on 1900, and Bane is an extra 1900. Use Bane's effect, nuke the entire board, which is where I'd say go Adoration, if their entire board can be broken that way. If it can't be broken that way, you go Trinity, you drop this, everything gains 900 still. This is gaining a K, this is on 7.5, and it's going to attack 3 times. Overkill doesn't need to be done. You'd only do it if you're guaranteed to do it and kill your opponent off that turn. But yes, it can do a lot of searches, so I can't see this deck being number 1 because it, like I said, an Ash, an Ogre, a Veiler, any well-timed hand trap or a Nibiru just kills the deck so hard. And then Super Poly running around at 3 as well is a nice way of getting rid of Dark Claw nice and easily. And the deck can just suffer that way anyway. Right, this will be the last test hand that I am going to do for today. So if you do have any questions, chuck them down in the comments below. I will answer them as best I possibly can. Or if you have a burning question, you are more than welcome to ask it while I am live. It can be about absolutely anything. Keep it Yu-Gi-Oh related and keep it PG-13, please. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And we can go from there. That, again, is game. So, well, I'm pretty sure it's game. I don't know why it couldn't be. Faris, let's get rid of Celestial. Faris, increase. Move. Get out the way. Vion's effect. Do I want a Stratos? Or do I want a Maddie? I'm going to go with a Mally. Link those guys together. Before that, banish the Faris. It's going to be like, like people used to do End-Phase Scam. I'm going to have to get tattooed on my wrist. Vion, Poly, Search. It's just like, bro, keep flipping forgetting. And I'll banish the same thing every time. I always banish the Faris. Whether I need to or not, I don't know. Cross Crusader brings back Maddie. Oh, I was so tempted to play Old Heroes today. Well done, Donovan. Let's have a quick look. Yeah, no, bring back the chat. Yeah, Donovan. Well done, Donovan. Yeah, I mean, Heroes are still kind of good under the old list. They just got so much more consistency back in the new list. We're going to sack this off. I haven't normaled yet, so now I can search out Stratos. I'm going to normal summon my Stratos. I could pop back row if back row is a threat. If it's not a threat, I'm going to welcome Elemental Hero, Honest Neos. I'm going to... Yeah, that's why I've got to remember to stop doing it, because I'm so used to leaving Mali in there and using Mali as part of the fusion fodder that I've got to stop doing it. It's a bad habit, because then I can get caught out by doing all this stuff and going, I haven't got a level 5 or higher to actually use for the evil hero. I'm going to send this to get the Dark Fusion. Where's my Dark Calling? There's my Dark Calling. Disappointed this didn't get a foil print. Which one? If it was a I don't know if that actually has a thing. That's just like the circus thing. What have I done? Right, think. Poly, because why not? Put those two together, and we're gonna make... Oh, it's Ruby by Kaiser Chiefs, I believe. Was it? That was it. Mali. Oh, yeah, I'm pretty sure that's Ruby. What am I doing? I'm losing concentration. Vision Hero Adoration using Stratos and our second Mali. We're then going to banish the second Mali. Yay. Banish the Mali. Bring out our third Mali. Because we're going into Overkill, we're going to Mars change that Mali. And we're going to go to Dark Claw because, if my opponent has floaters, they're not going to be floating anymore. I've got Super Poly, which is kind of cool. We use Adoration's effect to reduce something. We're going to link these up into a link 3. We'll put him over there, or I can put him over here just so that my Dark Lord gets a nice little boost. We're then going to use Dark Cooling, and we're going to banish Adoration, but I'm going to banish Mali, and Dusted Gold. I'm going to go into Bane. We're going to drop this on top of Bane, so Bane gets a nice little boost. And then we're going to go Battle Phase, and we're going to kill our opponent with just these. If my opponent somehow, don't know how, somehow manages to survive, and all my monsters are gaining 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 700. So we have a 3100 Darklaw, a 3200 Decimator, and a 3700 Bane plus 25. And Bane has nuked everything that is less than him. They should all be dead. If they're not all dead, I can Super Poly and go into Trinity, or I can Marsh Change, turn Darklaw into Anki, and go boom. That's game. Right, that is it for the potato stream. Next time I'll use a carrot. Yeah, I'll quickly show you the deck profile right now. It's a little bit messy, but we'll go through it as we go. So the extra deck, we do have the one Cross Crusader, and if you've been watching this video from the start, you'll see how many times we go into this bad boy. The one extra Hero Dread Decimator. Really, really love this card. It's so underrated, but I really, really like it. Yeah, some older structure decks were reprinted. Extra Hero Wonder Driver. By older structure decks, the original Yugi and Kaiba got reprinted. And then what they've done is they've reloaded certain structure decks. So by what I mean by reloaded is they've remade the Dino structure deck. That came out, I think, like 2 years ago. 2-3 years ago. What else have they done recently? They redid the Counter Fairy structure deck as well. And they're redoing the Shadol one. So, because the Shadol structure deck is getting a revamp as well. And that is what they kind of voted on. So that's kind of cool. And they're looking at doing it with some other decks as well. The only other link that I make is Beat Cop, and that's purely because that when I've used Super Poly to break my opponent's board, I can link it away. Now, it doesn't need to be Beat Cop. It can actually be any generic link to that you wish. So I wouldn't use that as actual gospel. You don't have to use this. Speaking of Super Poly, the target we play is Starving Venom and Mud Dragon for any generic road deck, and then of course the majority of decks right now pulling out double darks. Most people are being smart enough and playing around Super Poly, but you do have to be quite careful. For our Destiny heroes, we play the one Dystopia and the one Dangerous, part of the OTK, part of your defensive board, so you do play one of each of those. They are massively, massively needed. For the Vision heroes, we play the one Adoration and the one Trinity. Trinity is another part of the OTK. Dark Underworld. Yeah, it was Dark Underworld? The one that Lair of Darkness is basically the one we got most recently. That was a nice little reprint. So we've got the two Vision heroes, Trinity for the OTK and Adoration to help boost up an alternative route to the OTK and trigger off your Solid Soldier. Evil heroes, you got your Bane for the OTK, and you got your Evil hero Dark Gaia. Don't use Dark Gaia at all. I haven't. Every time I've played this deck, I haven't used it. That might be a fault on my behalf that I should be going into it, but I've never really seen the need to use it. And I'm actually considering dropping it out and dropping out the main deck of Nibiru. Just trying to, until I can find some form of protection for my deck. You then got the one Anki, the one Dark Law, and the one Dian for your Master Heroes. Dian, very rare, but it can still be very, very useful, especially on a level 4 from deck. I didn't know that. I didn't know that they've had. I assume they have unlimited from the old days, but I don't think they've been reprinted since I've got back into the game. I think when I got back into the game, one of the first structure decks that got printed was the one that brought out Darklaw to us. Anki is just to go from Darklaw into Anki for game. Doesn't need to be there. It can be a second Darklaw if you wish. Moving on to the main deck, just to kind of blitz through this as quickly as I possibly can for you. November 11th. Where's this, Chief? As in a structure deck. I'll have to look at that. I've not even seen it. Do you even know what they've got in it? Yeah, the worst thing about Dragon Maids though is, Crow, that you know and like this isn't. Don't take this offensively or anything. Because of the type of deck that it is, like the type of artwork it is, it's kind of like symbolities of Sky Strikers and stuff like that. It's gonna be. Oh, really? Is it getting a reprint, Gavin? Interesting. I'll have to have a look at that. It's gonna be one of them decks that Konami know will be the most popular in that set and will sell that set. And if you look at past sets exactly like that, they've always been a lot harder to get. They've always been short printed. They've always been a pain to get, and it's really gonna kill it. Hero Strike reprint. I'm not too sure which one you're referring to. Yeah, unfortunately, Crow. I hope it isn't. I'm hoping that they see like the level 9s as the one that's the one to kind of get, but unfortunately, that's not the way Konami tend to roll. Anyway, triple Call by the Grave, triple equal. You know, these should all be pretty much make sense for you why they're like that. I don't think I thought Sky Strikers had reigned long enough, and I think what Konami have done is the right thing. And the support they've given it isn't busted. It's not going to make them come back to tier 1. What would have made them come back to tier 1 was if the new spell card, rather than adding a level 4 or lower back, level 4 back, it could have given them back. They're not tier 0. They can't be, surely. Like, they've got one Widow Anchor. Like, their most powerful cards was Engage, Anchor, Multi-Roll, and Kagari. Kagari's now at 1. Multi-Roll. What, as in Strikers? I don't know where you're from. I assume New York Giants, so New York. Here, over in the TCG, they were basically everything unless it's an arse pool. I mean, competitively, they were still very much doing their jobs. They were still very cool. Yes, they went down a notch since the previous ban list when multi-roll went to 1. They were still topping, which is why they got another hit, in my opinion. They were still very, very powerful. And everyone knew that another hit was coming. Went down from the ban list and shot up to tier 0. Well, I might be confused. Are you saying that you feel that Strikers are gonna still be tier 0? Is that what you're saying, New York? Right. Okay. So you're saying that Strikers are still going to be. There's no doubting that Strikers were certainly a very, very powerful deck. I think it definitely was the it deck when they first came out, no doubt about it, and they dominated massively. Again, I completely agree with you on that one. They certainly took a knock when they didn't even take. No, I'll take that back. They didn't even take a knock when drones went. When drones went to 1, all that did was slow down the splashability of drones. Then Kagari went to 1. That hurt them, but they were still very much able to play and were very, very strong. Then, of course, multi-roll went down to 1. That's where, in my opinion, they went from tier 0 to tier 1. They were still very, very good, very, very highly represented, and very, very powerful. But they weren't dominating as well. They were still doing really well. I'm not saying they weren't. Sky Strikers then, in this most recent ban list, have not become unplayable, but they've definitely become weaker. Like, there's no way. I personally think that they're sitting between tier 1.5. I honestly don't think that they're going to be the it deck. They've lost Widow Anchor to 1, which is one of their most powerful interruptions during your opponent's turn. Shark Cannon is definitely powerful, but not as powerful or as integral. I think there will definitely be people that play Sky Striker still. It wasn't, yeah, but the Agapane wasn't banned for dragons. That's what you've got to see as well. Agapane was actually, hi Bill, weekend work. Agapane was banned because of its abusability in every other deck. Pendulums, Thunder Dragons, everything like that. That's why Agapane got banned, not purely because of dragons. Then we're not saying that the Agapane made it the best, but if you look at it, Agapane definitely helped out massively. Like Agapane was giving people extra access to easy access into Abyss, Crystal Wing, and Vortex without properly making them. And then what you forget is that Agapane didn't just do that. Agapane brought that out and then was able to go into spheres as well. So it made a deck that could probably produce one, maybe two interrupts or two painful disruptions into a 3 to 4. I don't think you're going to be losing to strikers that much anymore. I honestly don't. Like the, I mean, if Sky Strikers now after this list continue to top and they find a way to adapt, then by all means, like I've got no issues with that whatsoever. But in my opinion, they're not nowhere near what they were once before, and this is the final straw, in my opinion, that the only thing that can get hit next is engage, and once that happens, yeah, I agree, Gavin. Strikers, they can easily sit on mine, and they can out it very, very easily. So that is how, in my opinion, Striker will win. It's not just one card though. It's their most important one. Ray and Engage, we're not. It will completely agree. Are still incredibly powerful, but Widow Anchor was their easy out to fund the dragons. It was also an out and disruption during their opponent's turn, and was also because you forget it was a negate effect. Plus, it was take the monster if you had 3 in the graveyard. So it also helped contribute to the OTK. So it actually had 3 potentials: negate, disrupt, and kill. They were the 3 things it had. I honestly do not worry about strikers. Do not. Their new cards are not good at all, in my opinion. They do not help extend the power plays of their deck, and I honestly don't think that they're going to be much of a worry right now. I think what you've got to worry now is Thunder Dragons because they haven't been touched, and then Pure Orcust. I think them 2 decks right now are going to be the ones. I mean, I can't personally. We're going to do a tournament. We're doing a tournament tomorrow, which will be under the new list. So that'll be very, very interesting to kind of see what decks get played and what gets represented. But you've got to remember, there's also the is it PPG this weekend as well. So that'll be interesting to see what kind of happens there. Yeah, what kind of happens there and what gets represented the most. Anyway, this has been great having a chat with you guys. Great going through heroes and showing what they can do. I hope you enjoyed seeing the heroes. I hope you enjoyed the little profile at the end. You can check the full profile video out on the channel. It will be in, I think it's like a day or two old, so you can just scroll back on the channel and check that out. So yeah, I'm going to leave it there for you guys. I'll have more videos for you tomorrow. Tomorrow will be the first official day at our locals under the new list. So if you are in the Stevenage area or the Hertfordshire area and you want to play Yu-Gi-Oh under the new list, you can check us out on Facebook and find out where we are. We will be in Stevenage for the day, so you can come down, have a play, and just if you haven't been before, come and meet the group, come and meet the team. Just have a decent day out on a Sunday, nice and relaxed and chilled. But for now, anyway, thanks for watching. Thanks to all of you that joined us live on the stream. Thanks to all of you that have watched this video after the stream as well. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, share. Once my internet upgrades from a potato to something a bit more stable, I should be able to do a few more videos like this as well. And it's always great having a decent conversation with you guys. We wish you success as well, NY Giants, both in sport and, of course, with you playing Yu-Gi-Oh! Do not worry about strikers. They are nowhere near a threat for you anymore. I hope when you do get back into Yu-Gi-Oh! That you play strikers as your first game, kick their butt, and then you'll get past this kind of, not fear, but this kind of hesitancy towards strikers because they're not as big of a threat as you think anymore. But anyway, thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, share, and until next time, guys, as always, happy dueling.